Hello everybody. This week we have a special program focusing on technology, mainly Israeli technology. We will talk to some key players and we'll try to assess where things are going from here. Israel's most successful IPO in recent memory belongs to Wix. It's a platform for building your own websites, and we are speaking now with Nir Zohar, who's the president and CEO of Wix. Hello, Nir.
Hey, how you doing, Yaakov?
First of all, briefly, what is Wix?
Well, I think you gave a good description. Wix is a platform that allows everyone, you, me, and everybody out there to build a website that will not only be functional, but it will also look great and will actually look like a professional designer built it.
Right. So why did you choose to go public as opposed to many other startups here in Israel that prefer to be bought up by somebody big?
Well, we've been working on Wix for a very long time now, over 6 years. We love what we do. We really believe that there is an amazing opportunity here, and the chance to have a strong business, a big Israeli company that does consumer business coming from Israel. And we just didn't want to give that away. We wanted to keep on doing that and not hand over the ownership of our company to somebody else.
Right. Well, initially it was a very successful IPO. The stock market is a bit bubbly, so to speak, though, and you have canceled or delayed recently a second offering. Is that true?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Why do you feel that the market is like overblown?
Well, we didn't feel necessarily that it's overblown, but I think that the market has a bit of a mind of its own. We saw that pretty much adjacent to the announcement we made, the general value of stocks around biomed and tech started going down to the extent of 20 and 30% down. And we just thought that that's not the right environment to go and raise more money. We'd rather sit and wait and do it at a later stage.
Mm-hmm. What's your vision about the future of technology? Obviously, things go more mobile, maybe rather than websites. Where do you think it's going?
Well, I think that there's a big combination, but I don't think that mobile will replace the websites. I think it's a big mixture of different functionalities and different capabilities that apply for different devices. And by the way, when you say mobile, what is a tablet? Is it a mobile or is it a desktop? Because it's closer to a laptop in capabilities than it is to your smartphone, right?
Right.
So I think you're going to see that there's a lot of different capabilities that are being attached to each and every device and fulfill something different in our lives. And I think that we'll find that there are more and more technologies that actually allows you to cross the gap and support all of those technologies together, which is, by the way, one of the big things that we've been putting a lot of effort to do, is having a mobile solution that doesn't really require you to do anything from scratch, but is complementary to your website.
Right. So this concept of do-it-yourself in technology, you think it's going to pick up?
I think it's been picking up for the last 30 years, Yaakov. Think about the 80s. If you wanted to print something in the 80s, you had to go to 3 or 4 different professionals in order to get it done. Today, if you want to print a little booklet at home, you just use your word processor and a printer and get it done.
Right, but if I want to, let's say, write my own application, my own iPhone app, will I be able to do it very easily without, spending years learning this?
Well, I think that's, to some extent, the simple stuff, yeah, you will be able to create simple functionalities on your own. I think that like anywhere in the real world, when there's a very sophisticated functionality, you will still need to have a professional help.
Right, as easy as Wix. Thank you very much, Neil.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Replay Technologies is an Israeli company that took sports replay to a whole different level, the third dimensional level. They have just received the New York Emmy for their accomplishments, and we talk now to Matteo Shapira, who's in New York. Congratulations, Matteo. You are one of the founders. How do you create this 3D environment?
So the 3D environment, which is part of our three-dimensional video technology, is essentially a representation of reality where instead of looking at a broadcast image in 2 dimensions, which is essentially what broadcasting and film is right now, we create with the technology a full 3-dimensional representation of the scene, and that allows us to put a camera where there is no physical camera. So 3-dimensional video allows to look at the scene or at reality from any given angle.
So you get entirely new angles that nobody saw before.
Yes, and those angles are as radical as the imagination can go. For example, in our sports venues, we can look at the perspective of the quarterback or the goalie. We can see what they saw from their eyes. We can have a camera which travels with the balls. There is really no limit to what kind of action and camera we can generate out of the 3D content.
Where do you implement this so far?
So the technology was first implemented in the London 2012 Olympics in the gymnastics event. And since then, we went on to implement it in major American sports. It was implemented at Yankee Stadium, which is what we recently received an Emmy Award for. And from that point, we evolved into bigger arenas such as the Cowboys AT&T Stadium in Dallas. We've recently done the NCAA Championship, the NBA All-Stars, and also the Indian Wells Grand Slam in tennis.
Mm-hmm. So, without being too technical, how do you make 2D video into 3D environment?
So in general, what we do, we have cameras or sensors, 5K resolution sensors around the stadium, and those sensors give us a coverage of images which we take the individual 2D pixels and convert the pixels, the color information, into 3D information. And once we have that 3D information from our sensors, we can create any kind of viewing perspective. We can go around with a virtual camera that has no specific limit like a real-world camera would have. For example, the camera could be on the physical field itself, where obviously a physical camera could not be in a sports event.
Mm. So what's going to happen next? Are you going to take viewers for a walk on the football field or basketball field?
Yes, the next evolution of the technology will allow the viewers to literally be on the field. You can walk around the field during a game. You can see the game from the perspective of your favorite player or the goalie, and experience the game from any perspective you choose.
Great. Well, Matteo Shapiro in New York, thank you very much.
Thank you, Jacob.
Joining me now is Dror Globerman, a technology expert. Dror have been following closely the high-tech scene here in Israel and, of course, around the world. And sometimes, Dror, you become very skeptical.
Yes, even upset.
Wow.
Because I've been promised some freedom if I only commit to some new devices and applications, like, this one.
Right.
And I only find that I work more, I'm more exhausted, I am drowning in tons of information and websites, and where's my freedom? Where is my promised time, leisure time, that technology should have been bringing to me?
The promise was that you're going to have more time, it's going to be easier, you're going to have more free time with your family and so forth.
Yes.
It's not happening, huh?
And you know what? I've just been watching the new ad by Amazon. To Amazon Dash, it's a new device that lets you do shopping for groceries just at home. You just scan the code, and the list goes automatically to the supermarket, and it should be brought to your home. And you only see at the ad people using the device or resting and having great time with their family, because now they don't go shopping anymore, so they have more time. And you know what? That doesn't happen. And I think it's for two reasons. First, if we all get more competitive and more efficient, and we do more in less time, then it means that the competition is not only between businesses upon us, we also compete each other. And if I'm a better employee, then someone else is too. And my boss expects more from all of us. And if we stay behind, then, So we have to work more, and this is what actually happens to people. They get more devices, become more efficient, but they work more hours a day. And then when you get a device that's supposed to make you free, it costs more.
Yeah.
Definitely if it's a good one. So you pay premium prices, and then you have just to work in order to justify this.
So you pay more to work more, to get even more enslaved by technology.
Exactly. And you get addicted to that because people let you, because new organizations show you the promise that you just get freer if you only buy this one. So I'm not saying let's go back to caves naturally, but let's be a bit skeptical about if this technology actually helps us. The specific thing we're going to buy tomorrow, does it help us or make us work again for a new device?
Yeah. Dror Globerman, stay skeptical. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Over the past weeks, we spoke to some top technology figures. Here are some excerpts. The Russian name Kaspersky is a synonym for cybersecurity. Mr. Eugene Kaspersky, founder of Kaspersky Inc., is here in Israel for the International Cyber Conference. Welcome to our show, Mr. Kaspersky.
Thank you so much. That's a pleasure.
Let's talk cyber wars. How do you rank Israel in this business and Russia?
Well, the reality is that many nations, they already announced that they have a military cyber divisions. So I'm pretty sure that some of them already have cyber weapons. Still, they don't use it, and I think it's a very good idea because cyber weapons, they're extremely dangerous, not only because they are weapons, but also the fact is that it's very easy to learn and copy-paste. And I'm afraid of the other nations which will be copy-pasting their cyber warfare.
Right. But since you're here in Israel, so tell us what's your impression about the Israeli part of this business?
Of course, I don't know the details, but Israel is very well known as a very developed country in IT, in security, and I'm pretty sure that you have enough of arms in your hands.
Are we heading towards a World War III in cyberspace, as some say?
I believe it's very dangerous because we depend on IT. It's everywhere. There are power plants, power grids, transportation, healthcare. So if there is some visible damage on these systems, actually we will get back to the pre-internet time.
So how do you contain it? I mean, when there's a weapon, people use it.
Unfortunately, yes, from time to time there are such weapons which are used by people, but remember, there are such things as nuclear weapons, chemical weapons, biological weapons, which are simply forbidden. And I hope that very soon governments will agree not to use cyber weapons and make cyber weapons forbidden as well.
Oh, that's an interesting analogy. I mean, do you think cyber weapons is as dangerous as nuclear or biological?
Once again, if we are in a cyber war, I think that the possible damage on the whole world will be as huge, as big as a real Third World War.
Digital media. Peter Barron is a senior Google executive whose expertise is digital media. He made the transition from being a senior BBC television producer to the world of clicks and likes. Mr. Barron was here in Israel this week and he's joining us. Thank you, Mr. Barron.
Lovely to be here. Thank you.
Well, you're a journalist. You were the editor of BBC's Newsnight. So what's a serious guy like you doing in digital media?
Well, I became very interested in digital media really from the beginning. I suppose maybe around about 1995, my life changed almost overnight because I just became hooked on the internet. And I suppose the point about the internet was, in the past you had to wait for things that you were interested in to come along. With the internet, you just go straight there. But I just became ever more interested in digital media, in what the internet could offer, all the amazing tools, and eventually ended up at Google.
Yeah, but seriously, when you compare, traditional journalism to what's going on online, aren't you at least a bit concerned?
Well, I think the opportunities for digital journalism are extraordinary. I mean, if I think back to my career, when I first started in television, it was very difficult to broadcast. And the point about the internet is it has really given access to all the world's information to many, many people around the world. But it also more recently has given people the ability to gather information and to publish to the world. So now, obviously a lot of the stuff that is published to the internet isn't of great value. Traditional journalists are using the internet as well, and all the extraordinary tools that are available to do great things with journalism these days.
The problem with news organizations, among others, is that they have no business model now because Google takes all the advertisement revenues.
Advertisers are choosing to advertise online because that's where people are, and that's because online advertising is very effective. If I'm searching for something, by definition, I'm interested in it. So it is certainly right to say that advertising revenues have moved online. But we're sending huge numbers of clicks through to the websites of news publishers, something like 10 billion clicks a month, and that's generating something like $9 billion worth of revenue for news publishers all around the world. So it's been a tough course, but news publishers are finding ways of making money online.
And this has been our technology special this week. Thank you for watching. We'll see you here next Sunday. Have a good week.